Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Friday night, bordering on Saturday morning, and while wife, baby, and toddler are asleep, I thought it would be fun for us to do a live stream for our beloved Noel ComiX YouTube channel. We've got some WWA, World Wrestling All-Stars, with JB, Jeremy Borash, Jerry the King Lawler, and Commissioner Bret the Hitman Hart. Good stuff. And I also just downloaded this cool EX Fighting Layer demo for the Nintendo Switch. Diego Konnichiwa, my friend. We've got some fun stuff brewing and a little bit of time on our hands. So I thought it would be cool for us to get some live stream going. Sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I just downloaded this. So I've always heard a lot about EX Fighting Layer. So we've got it here. I'm still trying to work this selfie stick so you can kind of get the full advantage of what's going on here. Yeah, but this game looks cool. So we'll play a little bit of this and see what it has to offer. It was a free download on our Switch, so I thought that would be cool. You know, it was actually really funny because Sinister was on the podcast, on the live stream with us, and I was talking about World Wrestling All-Stars pay-per-view, the pay-per-view from the early 2000s, like right after WCW went out of business, and it had a bunch of like really top-tier WCW guys, like Bret Hart, Sting, and Lex Luger, and I couldn't think of the name of it, and Sinister was like, I think you're talking about World Wrestling All-Stars. I was like, yeah, that's right. And then, like, the funny thing is like, the next week, that was Jeff Jarrett's podcast topic with Conrad. So I punched it into YouTube, and sure enough, they've actually got a couple World Wrestling All-Stars pay-per-views on. So this is pretty cool. And I remember actually watching these scrambled on pay-per-view back when I had analog cable. They'd have, pay channels scrambled. You could, like, hear what was going on. So I remember, after WCW sadly went out of business, I was, like, really annoyed because WCW was, like, my favorite wrestling promotion, and it still is. And I remember seeing these commercials for WWA, and it had a bunch of really great WCW guys. And I was like, yeah, you can tell what a WCW fan I am is because of my my Sting poster back there. In addition to like Sting's autograph, we also have a bunch of cool Sting cards right here. So my my WCW street cred is completely legit. So yeah, there's that. Anywho, yeah, so once I saw that, like Bret Hart and Sting were in this promotion, I was like, oh man, I gotta watch it. And then I remember Disco Inferno was doing commentary, and it was just cool stuff. So that time period after WCW went down, and there was just a bunch of holy shit. I'm also watching WCW and WWE vids on YouTube. Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Is pro wrestling right now isn't the greatest thing. I mean, I'm actually a big fan of Impact Wrestling and AEW. I actually watched Impact Wrestling tonight, and it was quite good. But Impact is small. It kind of imploded a bit. AEW is really good in my opinion. But it is what it is. Pro wrestling's got a much smaller audience than it once did. And, back in the glory days in the, mid to late 90s and early 2000s, it was something really special. And, I haven't watched WWE since WrestleMania and have absolutely no desire to. I listen to, these wrestling podcasts, all the time. And, hearing people like Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett, relive the glory days of when pro wrestling was really special. It's something, man, and I miss WCW. I really wish that company was still around. Before we get down to some gaming, I'm gonna fill up my my Marvel Superheroes cup, get an icy beverage. Yeah, I was actually pretty tired because my stepsister, for Christmas a while ago, she got me a bottle of vodka. So I put a little splash of it in some iced tea, which was nice. I have a nightcap, but the thing with me is, like, I don't get drunk. I get tired when I have when I have alcohol. So I actually fell asleep on the couch, and then with Santino, and Santino wanted to listen to some Starship. We built this city because he's my son and has fantastic taste in music. So we listened to some "We Built This City" on record right here. And once he went to bed, we decided to, I decided to, like, hey, it's not even midnight yet. Why don't we do some live streaming? Because I have no school tomorrow because it is Memorial Day weekend. So, a nice 4-day weekend. Eric Bischoff is the greatest GM in wrestling. I agree. And I actually think Eric Bischoff is I would call him the greatest head of a wrestling company, at least for a window of time. Because he outperformed Vince McMahon, and really kind of turned Vince McMahon into the Vern Gagne of the '90s for a little bit. The promoter whose time was passing him by. And I truly think if Eric Bischoff had booked Bret Hart properly, WWF would have been, kind of a perpetual number 2 promotion. And they would have been in some rough shape. But alas, Vince McMahon has got a good mind for wrestling, knows how to promote, learned how to rip off Eric Bischoff's ideas and Paul Heyman's ideas and promote his own ideas, and combine those 3 things together. And then basically ECW just ran out of money, and WCW, Bischoff just lost control of his company, both in terms of letting his talent kind of behave badly and create a toxic work environment, but worse, the getting kind of consumed by Time Warner corporate politics and ignoring creative, which allowed WWF to kind of like steadily regain momentum, and then like eventually Time Warner just cut WCW off at the knees because they just didn't want wrestling on, even though it was their highest rated program. Hey, Rogue Drums, yeah, long time no see. Those of you guys who don't know, Rogue Drums came to actually visit me in person at school because he, for the last month of school, decided to switch from a remote learner to an in-person learner. So it was nice seeing Rogue Drums. He grew a lot since the last time I saw him. He's a man now, which is pretty... So it's kind of funny when you see your former students and they're now like adults. Ooh, wrestling chicks. It's another thing that they don't have anymore in pro wrestling is the ladies. So yeah, good stuff. So this is like, I guess, WWA's version of the Nitro Girls. So good stuff. Vince McMahon is alright, but he's nowhere near as good as Eric Bischoff. Yeah, prime Eric Bischoff is better than prime Vince McMahon as far as I'm concerned. And I think the real evidence of that is when the NWO went back to WWE. Actually, they were in WWF. They went over on Hulk and The Rock. Paul Heyman is another wrestling... Yeah, Paul Heyman, he's one guy who can really make anyone look good. Like everyone says that Paul Heyman knows how to, hide negatives and accentuate positives. And he really does. I mean, he took a bunch of jobbers, basically stole Alanis Morissette's Gen X bitching, and, and was able to kind of create an underground wrestling sensation. I mean, I used to watch ECW on Empire Sports Network. I mean, and that was a program that you had to, seek out. Because, I remember, back when pro wrestling was really hot, 1997, I Nitro, switched to Raw when there was a lull in Nitro, and then Saturday morning watch ECW, and I just remember I remember vividly the week where Rick Rude was simultaneously on ECW, WWF, and had joined the NWO on Nitro after Bret Hart got screwed. But I mean, to me, it's just like I don't know, man. Bret Hart not getting booked like a champion is what really hurt WCW. I mean, like the Starrcade '97 ending was kind of wonky, but I think that wasn't like that big a deal. But I really think that squandering the massive momentum they had, coupled with not booking Bret Hart like the champion he was, really hurt things. And you know, like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall when they went over, like in the Ultimate Warrior when he went over to WCW, and Hogan when he went over, and Roddy Piper when he went over, they were all successful, at least at first, because they were booked at the same level from when they went over from WWF to WCW, right? Like they were all booked like main event caliber guys, and Bret Hart, like he went from being the WWF champion to like, I don't know, competing for the WCW TV title with like crappy music, like crappy ring music. Like I don't know, I don't get it, man. ECW in the late '90s was more hardcore and brutal than UFC. I really liked ECW. I thought Francine was hot, and Rob Van Dam was like just one of the coolest guys. And I got to meet Rob Van Dam at a wrestling show in Binghamton. In fact, you can actually see a live video on my YouTube channel of me getting Rob Van Dam's autograph, and it was great, man. He's just super, super cool, super nice. And not only did he sign my my poster, he signed my ECW VHS tape. So it was good stuff. Yeah. You know, it's actually funny, like last live stream we did, I was pretty clean shaven, but now I've got the 5 o'clock shadow back, and I feel like myself again, you know, so it's actually funny, because I had itched my beard too much, so I was trying to, like, trim my beard a little bit, and I tried eyeballing it, and I kind of, like, did it too much on one side, and I was in a situation where it was just kind of like, I just gotta shave this, because there's no saving it, so... but thankfully I'm Italian and was able to regrow my stubble, you know, within the day, so that's good. So, anywho, all right, so let's check out. I have not played any of the EX Fighting Layer games. This is called EX Fighting Layer Another Dash. I have no idea what this game is going to be like. Yeah, Mr. Monday Night Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night Raw Rob Van Dam. I remember when the NWO was really, really hot, WWF was frantically trying to do their own version of the NWO angle. Like, they had the Nation of Domination, like the NOD rather than the NWO. They had the NWA Invasion with Jeff Jarrett and Jim Cornette. And then and I actually really liked Jeff Jarrett, the NWA Jeff Jarrett. And then they actually did a cross-promotional invasion angle with ECW, and I remember Rob Van Dam, like, turned on ECW, and I remember seeing Rob Van Dam on ECW programming with, like, a WWF flag, and I remember, like, they were calling him Mr. Monday Night Raw, and I always thought that was, like, really cool. And Rob Van Dam and Sabu were such a great tag team, too. And Jean-Claude Van Damme is my favorite actor, so I just thought it was like awesome how Rob Van Dam and Jean-Claude Van Damme looked so much alike. So yeah, good stuff. You know, it's actually really funny. Like, I'm streaming through Prism, and like my clock for how long I've been streaming is completely broken. Like, it's saying I've been streaming for 3 seconds, which I know is not true. And it's saying like 2 people are watching, which could be true. I don't know. But the important thing is it looks like things are going, and we're having some fun. So without further ado, why don't we get down to some gameplay of EX Fighting Layer right now. We'll get our camera just like so here. Ooh. Okay. I actually do not want to do an online versus mode here. Yeah, no. Let's do arcade mode on easy. Okay, so hey, this has Terry Bogard. It looks like I can't play as him. Ooh, Skullomania. Alright. Kyrie versus Hayate here. So, I wonder if I can... I don't know if this game is, like, fully out yet. If this is, like, if I can unlock a full version of this game, or is this just a demo? Because I know this game was out on PS4. So, for those of you who don't know, this is, basically the non-Street Fighter... I should say this is the non-Capcom original characters. So, of the Street Fighter EX games, right? So, the Street Fighter EX games were, like, the original core Street Fighter characters from Capcom. Like, so the Capcom original characters, like Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Vega, Blanca, all that, Guile, all that good stuff, right? So they were in 3D in Street Fighter EX. But then there were also a bunch of other characters. And those were characters that were original to Eureka. And so, finally, years after, like a few years ago, Eureka decided to bring back their characters from that game. And there was also another game called Fighting Layer. And so Eureka brought back their characters from Fighting Layer and Street Fighter EX with the EX Fighting Layer. And it plays great. This is my first time playing this game, and it plays just like Street Fighter. Hey guys at home, you want to do me a favor and just throw a comment in the chat just to make sure that my program isn't freezing, because without me being able to see the timer running, I'm not sure if the stream is working. Because it just says like 3 seconds on the stream clock. So, and I mean, I know there's definitely been times when like the chat has been broken or the stream stops working with Prism, just because I don't know, there's something wrong with the app or the phone. And if that is the case, we can always just switch to YouTube. And as you know, since now we are at over 1,000 subs, we can easily mobile stream through YouTube as well. So that's a nice thing. But, we do like to do the stream through Prism, because we can see the comments on the screen with Prism. I really wish YouTube had something natively where you could do that. That's really dumb that their streaming is so bare bones. If you can see this comment, you're good. I can see that comment, so that's good. I mean, I also remember, like, Sid Vicious was the commissioner for WWA. And I remember also Bret Hart did his first post-stroke promo, I believe, with AWA. So I remember watching Scrambled, one of the AWA pay-per-views, and Jeremy Borash saying something about how, Bret Hart had a stroke, and I found that promo on YouTube, and I seeing it on Scrambled, and seeing like Bret Hart like kind of human. He didn't have his hulking physique anymore, and he had kind of this weird short haircut, But it was still Bret Hart, and it was nice to see him. So. Shadow Geist. It's funny, they've got all these, like, you know, pretty girls on wrestling, and it's like they still do have girls on wrestling. Now they're like, you know, they upstage the guys a lot of the time in terms of their in-ring ability. But this is definitely the time of Attitude Era eye candy, and you know, that was also nice. So. I just don't really like the whole Dave Meltzer, like, I don't know, Dave Meltzer's weird, man. He's got some thing about, like, not liking pretty girls in wrestling. I mean, I don't know. I see, he's just so quirky and odd. I mean, so am I, but, like, he's, like, unpleasantly quirky and odd, you know, but I don't know. Some people might say that about me as well. I'm not unpleasant. I'm Cortland's favorite son. You know, slightly edging out Mick Foley and Kevin James. Kevin James was Cortland's favorite son until he decided to play villainous NFL coach Sean Payton in a movie about the bounty system. Yeah, that's apparently filming right now. I just find it hilarious what's happening with Aaron Rodgers right now. I had a student teacher like hop in my class the other day. He's a Green Bay Packer fan, and I'm like, so what's the deal with Aaron Rodgers? Is he coming back? I'm like, I sure hope so. Like at this point, I don't even know how he can come back and not get just like booed out of the stadium. I guess if you win games though, the fans will cheer you. Hey Arrow. Yes, it is a 4-day weekend for me, my friend. I got no school on Friday. In fact, if things work out, I might still stream on Friday. I mean, it might have turned to Friday. I don't know. I started streaming, I think, at like midnight. So, we got some EX Fighting Layer demo going here on the Switch. We got some World Wrestling All-Stars 2002 pay-per-view on the Trinitron. And all is right with the world as my buddies are logging into the live stream. Yeah, no, this is great. So Santino had me purchase Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. That game has been severely pissing me off. That is probably, you know, as of right now, my least favorite Mario game. I'm not used to the physics on it. I don't like how when you get a game over, it knocks you back so far. And it's just, quite frankly, kind of cheap at times. So I really, really liked Mario 3D World. That's not good. And this happens with Bowser's Fury, too. But that game is just kind of a bitch. You know, I was talking to one of my students today, and he was saying when you play it on 2-player, it can be actually really fun. Damn it. Oof. It's crazy that they're able to get Terry Bogard in this game. I mean, we could be in a situation where they just do like King of Fighters EX. They did like Street Fighter EX. Ah! Do. Hey, Arrow, how many more, how long before you're on summer break? It's freaking ridiculous. I got school until the 24th. It's like, that is so freaking annoying to me. I mean, I'm happy for the paycheck, though, so. the more paychecks I get, the more games I can buy. And the more entertained you can be. Actually, recently purchased Phantasy Star 3 Easy Mode on Etsy, a Fanahack, a nice repro cart of Phantasy Star 3. I've got the actual Phantasy Star 3 cartridge, but I didn't have the easy version of it. So like I'm just so pressed for time. The quicker I can beat RPGs, the better, because I've got so many of them. There we go. Seniors get off a week early, so the 17th for me. That sounds like it's the same for Rogue Drums. I think he said he gets off on the 18th. Norm Smiley, he's wrestling right now. That guy always reminded me of like a 40-year-old man's head on a 7th grader's body. I like Norm. That's not a knock. I'm just saying that is who Norm Smiley is. There we go. We got her. Gotta say, I'm glad I'm done with high school, but don't really know what I'm going to do afterwards. That's normal, man. Just, follow your interests. Of course, I want to be a comic book artist, and I'm teaching 7th grade, so, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm happy that I opted for background in history because it's very philosophically interesting. Even though history as a discipline itself is got a whole bunch of just like academic political bullshit. Which I guess is any field. But, I mean, the thing that bothers me about history is people are like, oh, you'll be on the wrong side of history. What will history judge? It's like, history is not an abstraction. History is nothing more than, the prevailing ideology of some clique of academics in terms of how they want to, basically interpret world events and shut out and emphasize certain perspectives to describe those events. So that's what history is. And if you're like a Christian, or have like Judeo-Christian ethics, or something like that, and you believe in objective truth, and you can attach your history, your historical, narratives you're picking and choosing to transcendent standards of right and wrong, then, that's meaningful, but history is nothing more. Like, these historians that prevail, like, don't believe in that at all. They're just Nietzschean and Darwinian. They think that the world is just godless and random, and that it's the will of the people that they like that affects change over time, and and therefore it's important. It's like something's not historically important to them because it happened. It's historically important to them because the people that they like, they think made it happen. So if you can't show how someone's will to power affected change over time, they don't give a shit about what you have to say. And I just find that really petty and stupid. Because, what if someone wanted to do a history of you guys? I think that all of you guys matter. So your life matters, even if you're not able to, quote unquote, do something that's going to have some catastrophic change to normalcy. I don't know. But what people find interesting is kind of like art. It just, everyone's different, and this is, I don't know. I find teaching history can be fun. Dealing with academic, sometimes it is when you can joke around with them and kind of put them in their place. But, whatever. Why am I talking about this? Because it's more economically stable than my passion of drawing comic books, and I've become more intelligent. There's a lot of artists now who are in comic books that are total idiots. Like, they're just these raving, Tumblr, Twitter, political ideologues that have, no real purpose in life and are fueled by frustration and anger and ego and just seem to make, everyone around them miserable online, and I'm really happy I'm not like those people. But I really would love to be drawing, comic books for a living because it's hard work that I love to do. I'm at my happiest when I'm like drawing next to Santino, or just at the comic book shop drawing at a convention for just hours on end because the time just flies by. And so I don't know. I just that I mean, it's also very relaxing. So maybe the fact that it's a hobby now lets me appreciate it more to relax. But it would be really nice if I could do that, and make money doing that. So what relaxes me that I find fun and fulfilling and relaxing all at the same time is a way to basically support myself. But whatever, I know what I'm doing is valuable as well. Teaching helps you learn and grow and see things that other people don't see and help people all at the same time. So, it is what it is. But it's definitely a job that can have a high burnout rate. So you got to be built a certain way. And to a certain extent, teachers and cops kind of have a lot in common. I mean, cops are in more physical danger than teachers. I mean, teachers can be in physical danger too, but not like cops. But it's a sense where, like, you're caring for people that, in some cases, want to hurt you. I mean, you don't want that to be the situation, but it can definitely be the situation. And so I have a lot of respect for, police because, I've been in a situation where it's like you stay up most of the night working on a lesson, and then, like, you can find a huge chunk of kids that just are like, they don't care. They want to hurt you, Not this year's kids. This year's students are actually really chill. I don't know. I mean, you definitely have your goofballs, but I mean, it's a pretty comfortable, chill group of kids. Ah, come on. I don't know about necessarily just going with my interest. Don't think any anime video games is something I can turn into a viable career. You never know, man. Or just, you know, keep those interests going at least. And, you know, keep those interests going as you do something that's economically viable. Because hanging on to stuff that's important to you is one of the most valuable things you can do. You know, I mean, like, I don't know. I just, to me, it's still 1987, 1997, and 2007. Because people say that history is about change over time, but history is just as much about continuity over time. And, I believe in the dialectic principle of, kind of maintaining the best of each time period and not letting that go. So definitely keep the best of who you are going while adding new dimensions to it. So that you're appreciating the time that you're living in and getting what it has to offer, but at the same time not losing what makes you special and happy. This is a really good game. And this demo is good too. I can only apparently play as 2 characters, but I think it's letting me go through the whole arcade mode. I am 1,000% downloading the full version of this game. Jerry Lawler was doing color commentary on this pay-per-view. It's good stuff. Jerry Lawler's color commentary has turned to absolute garbage in the, more current WWF. But, back in the day, back in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s, it was good stuff, man. He was, up there with Bobby Heenan. I mean, I really like Don West on color commentary. He's like, when I got to meet Jeff Jarrett, I told him, it's like, we got to get Don West back on commentary, and he was like, yes, but at that point in time, I don't think he had a lot of power in TNA to make decisions, so I'm still pissed off my picture with Jeff Jarrett never came out. Like, when my buddy took the picture, the battery on the camera died. I mean, I've still got his autograph. He signed this kind of funny caricature poster I made from him. The defeated Hokuto was not supposed to rise up again. There was something that Kari was supposed to realize from the depths of his memory. He had a faint recollection of his younger sister. Is that really you, Nanase? You cleared easy mode. Ooh, credits. This is good stuff. I'm going to sleep now, really tired. Good night. Well, good night, and hopefully, you have a nice 4-day break. And I will hopefully stream tomorrow, or at least one other time over break. I don't know. Arrow, are you saying goodnight to Rogue Drums, or are you also going night-night? Is being a comic book artist your main focus at the age that I am now, or do you have something else in mind? When I was in 12th grade, I thought to myself, what do I want? I always thought to myself, if I do something that I really like for a living, I'm not sleeping until this ends. That's very flattering. I thought to myself, man, if I could do something that I really liked, then my work would never actually be thought of as work. Like, tedious work. When you think of work, sometimes you think of, oh, this is tedious. So, I thought to myself, well, what do I really like doing? And what I really liked doing was drawing anime. And so, that was what I wanted to do. I had absolutely no training at all. I love my high school. It's the best school I've ever been to, and I've been through a doctoral program. But Cortland Christian Academy is the best school I ever went to, easily. The only problem is that they didn't really have any art classes, because it was a poorer school in the sense it just didn't have a lot of funding. It was a private school that did its own thing. And so, I just was stuck there copying the animes that I liked as best I could, kind of crudely. So it wasn't until I went to Cortland State that I, about 2 years after I graduated high school and shifted from community college to a 4-year school, that I actually got to do some art classes, because, I was just posting my art on message boards, and it was getting ripped apart, which is fine. I didn't care. It taught me how to take criticism. And I was trying to compete in Tokyo Pop's Rising Star of Manga contest, which is kind of like American Idol for American mangaka. Tokyo Pop's problem was that they had their own idea of a niche they were trying to market to, which was this gothic Lolita, I don't know. It was this weird lacy goth stupid anime. They had a very weird house style that was just kind of dull. I don't know. There's a reason nobody liked their comics. I mean, I am an American mangaka, but there was just something kind of that was a bit off and kind of lifeless about a lot of the art that a lot of the American mangaka that was submitting to Tokyo Pop at the time were doing. And I was posting on the message board for the Rising Stars of Manga contest. It was called Sudome. And some of the people there were like nice, like, but there was, I'd say it was like more of like a minority. You know, like Marty Legro, I used to chat with a bit on that board, and she was pretty nice on the board. And then like we somehow ended up being Facebook friends, and then she like bitched me out because she thought I was tagging her in pictures. But like I wasn't tagging her in pictures. Facebook was auto tagging her in pictures, and there were pictures of Babe Ruth from like the Baseball Hall of Fame. So it's like, lady, it's not my fault that Facebook thinks you look like Babe Ruth. Like, you know, just stop being a freaking idiot. Anyway, but yeah, like I don't know. It was just weird. Like those message boards were just, I don't know. They were kind of toxic, but kind of helpful at the same time. And I don't know. I've just been slogging along and pursuing my passion. And then, you know, like there'd be times when I would be drawing where certain things would just kind of click and fall into place, and you'd kind of reach a new plateau of skill. Um, and then, you know, a comic book shop opened up around where I live, and I got to make friends with the owner, and he lets me draw at the store. And you know, I'm in the process. He lets me sell a couple of comic books at the store, which aren't anything great. I mean, they're like, you know, they're pretty old now. They're like over 5 years old, and I'm a lot better than when I drew in them. So I really want to get some new comic books to sell at that store. But I always have a table at, you know, conventions, and, you know, we do videos together, something like drawing videos together. You can see some live drawing videos of me drawing at the comic shop. They're a lot of fun. So, you know, right now, I don't know. It's just that's where my artistic journey has taken me, and I've luckily gotten to find some new manga contests out of Japan, and I actually got some feedback from the silent manga contest, which was judged by Tsukasa Hojo from City Hunter, and Tetsuo Hara from Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star. And they said they liked my layouts, and they said, you know, they like my action layouts. It's just keep going, you know. So that was really nice, and so, you know, I got this app called Metabang that they actually, it's through them that the Shonen Jump 100th Tetsuka contest was released in America. So, you know, I finally learned how to like tone on that app, and have been having a lot. Like if you look at my art videos now, they look a lot more, I think, interesting because I know how to tone with that app now. And so what I'm doing is I want to go through and tone my last two comic entries, so just so those entries can be like visually all they can be, you know. I don't know. I mean, I don't, not to like kind of like cop out and not just do a full blown new manga, but I really would like those to kind of be the vision that I originally envisioned them to be, those two comic book contest entries. And so I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling on, but I don't know, man. It's just it's a hard go of things making money as a comic book artist. I mean, you can always like hit that gold strike like Jim Lee or, you know, Toriyama or something, you know. But it's a mountain you got to climb, you know. So I don't know. Let's see what Arrow is saying here. He seems to be saying some interesting things. I don't know. I can confidently say the time I spent doing anything academically was work that I greatly despised doing. It was just something I did out of necessity. I did all right throughout my time in school up to this day, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is work I would be willing to do. At the same time, it's just all I know, so I don't really know just what else I can do forwards. Yeah, man, I mean, like, just the fact that you can actually just sit down and get work done is something really valuable, though, because, you know, a lot of the time it's like you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. You're going to have to do what you have to do. And, you know, there's going to be times where you're privileged enough to do what you want to do for work, and sometimes that's not going to pay jack shit, but you'll be improving yourself as a person. And then there'll be other times where it's like you'll have to look for menial labor to do to, you know, take care of things economically. So But the fact that you are disciplined enough to get something done and see something through is a valuable skill. So he got me, right? Yeah, barely. Stevie Ray is wrestling right now, leader of the Black and White NWO. After Hulk Hogan joined the Wolfpack. That made no sense. And I like Stevie Ray. That made absolutely no sense. Like, what the hell? I don't know, man. It's like, how do you not have, if you're gonna if you're not gonna have Bret Hart have a new Hart Foundation, then, and you're gonna split the NWOs into two factions, you should really have Bret Hart be leading one of the factions. But I don't know, if you listen to 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, you can just tell, like, by the time Bret Hart was there, his head was just not, Bischoff was not paying any attention to creative. I mean, he basically put Nash in charge of creative, and Nash didn't like Bret Hart from, the accounts that I can tell. So, I mean, Bret Hart was kind of like screwed, because he went in, and the people with the most political power in the company, Hogan and Nash, didn't seem to like him that much, so. Or undervalued his potential. I spent 13 years doing something I hated. I can't imagine having to feel similar towards whatever it is I'm working for even a longer period of time. Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that your youth is precious, and you don't want to be doing something for a living where you feel like you're just tearing through time as fast as you can to get away from something you don't like, because you're going to waste your most I mean, your whole life is valuable, but it's like, I can understand not wanting to lose a time in your life that's special when you're young, and like, I don't know, you don't want to be picky and unappreciative. But at the same time, it's like, you don't want to feel like you're wasting your life, And so, I mean, it's just, these are all decisions that you have to think about and make, I mean, listen, when push comes to shove and you got to put food on the table, like, it might be sink or swim. You just got to do something. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I get it. Like, if you want to try to do something fulfilling that doesn't make you miserable. I gotta tell you, I am pleasantly, I don't know if pleasantly surprised isn't the right word, because I figured this game would be good. But this is quite good. I mean, this might be better than Street Fighter V good. I mean, in terms of the fluidity of gameplay and character design. I mean, I like the character design in this better than the character design in Street Fighter V. And I like Street Fighter V. I'm not trying to undersell it, but this is some good freaking stuff. Whoop. Yeah. I'd imagine that time I spent in school is far lower compared to working, and if I'm just going to work that I hate for even longer than that, then I don't know what I'm going to be setting myself up for. Well, I mean, there's different types of professions too. It's like you'll do jobs that are like, this is not going to be my calling in life. This is something that I'm going to do for a period of time to make some money when I need it while I pursue something else. And then there's other jobs that you can experiment with that are like, is this a good job that I can support myself with? And then if you're really miserable doing it, then it's a question of like, what are your options? Ooh, Jeff Jarrett's coming out. The chosen one, Jeff Jarrett. Man. Alright. He was a 4-time heavyweight champion in WCW. That's pretty crazy. Of course, with Russo's booking, the heavyweight title moved around so much. Shirise versus Sanane. It's a guitar on a pole match. Good deal. Nothing beats a something on a pole match. You know, people like complain about Vince Russo's booking of WCW, but I really like stuff on a pole match. Judy Bagwell on a pole match, that is hilarious. Seriously, like I don't know why people bitch about that. There's like, oh, you're exposing the business. It's like the business is exposed. Everyone knows wrestling is fake. I mean, it's supposed to be entertaining. I mean, like it can be silly, it can be serious, it can be a whole host of things. It doesn't have to just be the way that you think it should be. It should have a lot of different dimensions to it. Like Bischoff said, it's like a salad bar, something for everyone. And that something should include batshit crazy things, you know? Like teleporting wrestlers. That's one thing I really like about Impact Wrestling. They've really embraced the idea of wrestlers with superpowers. Like, Rosemary, like, teleported out of a poker game last week. It was fantastic. Skullomania. Good character right here. Man, I really wish that, I wish my timer on, Prism was working, because I don't have a clock in here. I don't know how long I'm streaming for. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just kind of curious, you know, because, you know, there's times when I'm streaming with you guys. It's like, oh, I've been streaming for a half an hour. Or I've been streaming for an hour. I've been streaming for an hour and a half kind of thing. It's like, you can kind of gauge the, you know, your next step in terms of, like, am I going to keep streaming? How much time do I have for different games? You know, that kind of thing. But just kind of feeling it out, which is fine. Just making small talk. There we go. I was explaining to a teacher today what Twitch was, and she was young, too. She's, like, younger than me. But she's just not into, like, gaming and stuff. I'm like... She's like, kids watch other people play video games? I'm like, oh, yeah. That's, like... They like to play video games and like to watch other people play video games. And then I taught her about the whole genre of, like, the girlfriend experience on Twitch, you know? Like, just chatting and... You know, like, hot tubbing. Like, I'm a girl in a hot tub. I'll talk to you, but give me money. You know? You simp. 52 minutes. It's 12:45. Well, thank you, Arrow, for being my my time guy here. Do. Yeah, I would, I mean, I still want the next Street Fighter to look like Dragon Ball FighterZ, but I like the look of this game. I mean, if you're doing a game that's got, like, 2D mechanics and 3D graphics, This is some good stuff right here, and it doesn't even. I mean, like it. You can say like, oh well, it doesn't look like that cutting edge because I can't see the pores in these people's backs. Or like, I don't care. I mean, these are pretty character designs and fluid gameplay, and the graphics are pretty too. Like, I mean, I don't. I mean, whether this can hang on. I mean, I don't know. Like, graphics have also fairly plateaued too. So like, this could simultaneously be like anything from a PS2 to a PS5 game. So. Maybe PS2 is too low. Either a very very sophisticated PS2 game or a average looking PS4 game. So apparently on World Wrestling All Stars, there was a battle royal that had the bananas and pajamas in it. And I used to watch the bananas and pajamas when I was like, I was in like 6th grade. And I thought the bananas and pajamas were like hilarious and adorable all at the same time. They had like a live action show. They were kind of like the first Peppa Pig. It was like children's programming that was like really cute, but like it's so charming that like adults would like it too. I didn't have the kind of warped humor that Peppa had, though. Like, Peppa's got warped, really funny humor, but it's not like sexually inappropriate. Like, the Nickelodeon Nicktoons would just be like sometimes kind of creepy with some of the shit they would sneak in. Peppa's not like that. It's just like really intelligent humor. Like, it's joking about like the absurdities of adult personalities and making fun of things like postmodern literature. Got him. Until you tell her that people will pay others to play the video game. Wait until you tell her that people will pay others to play video games. I didn't even know that. The woman was created with the sole purpose of slaughtering Kyrie. Sat there. There was nothing left for her. As time passes, will she be left here, or will the one who can free her from her seal appear? Congratulations, you cleared easy mode. All right. I wonder if there's any. I don't think there would be any more to the endings playing it on a higher difficulty, but I don't know, man. This is some good shit right here. I'm absolutely 100% getting the full game of this when I can, because this was a free download and it was good stuff. I don't really understand why like people like the quartering and tipster have these like mental breakdowns over e-girls. Like I don't like I've heard like people like Zombie Kills and things, like people have like talked about her, like she sounds like a bullying, mean spirited psycho, like the way that she interacts with people. But like, Pokimane or just some other girl that, wants to wear makeup and look pretty and play video games, and like guys like pretty girls and they like video games. Like when I was watching G4, like when like back in like 2005 or 6 or whatever, with like Olivia Munn and that, like all the like the who's the Playboy girl, Sarah Underwood, like I don't know, like that was part of the whole experience. So yeah, like I don't know why this is like surprising to some people. Like video games is not like a space that should be devoid of attractive women. I do think that there's something like really kind of problematic with guys just not being emotional, like substituting a real relationship with a girl for like a kind of a quasi-prostitute relationship with a girl on a screen. You know, and I mean, it's not like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a pretty girl playing a video game and then, like, having people donate to your cause of being a pretty girl playing a video game. Because, like, you know, being an online person, you know, it's like, it's nice to have people donate to you and help your stuff, you know, help your hobby or help your profession or whatever. But you don't want to be in a situation where it's like, you know, there's something kind of dishonest or kind of creepy going down where, like, people are not living healthy, well-adjusted relationships, you know, where they're actually being able to achieve their full potential as a human being by being able to connect with someone of the opposite sex without money being involved, you know? I mean, we're not talking about, like, the courtship process of taking a girl to dinner in a movie. We're talking about, like, I'm talking to a girl on a screen who I'm never going to meet in person, and I'm giving her money because I'm falling in love with her. You know, like, that's not good. But if some girl in a hot tub wants to play video games and chat with you, then, and you have, you know, like, you're not holding any delusions, you know, chat with her. Just don't give her money, you know? Like, unless you really want to, you know, support her channel, and then just don't be insane about it. Just give her, like, a one-time donation and, you know, whatever. Loneliness really gets to the heads of others sometimes. Yeah, I guess so, man. Like, you know, I mean, I was a late bloomer for sure, so, you know, I can relate. Um, I don't think people are surprised about something that it's just, you see a lot of people try to have artificially have a relationship. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Um, okay, so I don't understand. So, like, this game must not be out yet, because when I click on the arcade mode, you know, it's only got a few people, and there's nothing that says, like, unlock the game, you know. But, you know, we see Terry here, so that's got me excited. Alright, well, this is fun, man. I'm gonna torture myself and play some Mario Brothers U Deluxe here, and then I'll probably play something on the Xbox One. Mario 3D World, this is a nice game, man. This is a really good game. So it's funny, like, I watched this pay-per-view Scrambled, and, you know, they were talking about, like, the Vampire Warrior and Luna Vachon. I had no idea the Vampire Warrior was Gangrel. Because I couldn't see what was going on. You could just, like, hear voices and, like, see just, you know, like, wiggly lines, basically, so. So, what is Super Luigi U? Is that a game where you can just play as Luigi? Actually, I'm kind of curious about this here. New Luigi U is a little trickier than Mario Brothers. You can jump higher, but you're more prone to skidding about. You know what? I'm just gonna play Mario. This game is hard enough as it is. Hang on. Are the bananas in pajamas here? It is! It's the bananas in pajamas! It's the bananas in pajamas. It's B1 and B2. You don't even understand. These are like creepy looking bananas in pajama costumes, though. Like, these don't look like good bananas in pajamas. They look like bananas in pajamas at, like, the, I don't know, like the Purge or something like that. It's kind of cool, though, you know, I don't know. So, but, yeah, I don't know. It is pretty funny, so, you know, it's definitely cool to have bananas in pajamas, here in pro wrestling. So I don't think I can get in any copyright trouble for showing this, because this promotion does not exist, and like they've got the whole pay-per-view up on YouTube from some third-party uploader. So yeah, so you know, is that Lodi from Raven's Flock? Yeah, it is Lodi. Yeah, they're saying he was in the Flock. Yeah, I remember Lodi from the Flock. He was cool. Alright, back to some Mario U Deluxe. The game that we got because Santino pooped on the potty. And now it's making me want to poop on the potty. This game drives me freaking insane. I'm telling my students today, I almost like rage quit playing this game. Because, you know what, the physics in this game are all weird. Like, Mario is like, he's slower, you know, so, I don't know, whatever. The Pixel Mario, it's like, it's much more fluid movement. And it's funny, because Sonic 4 had that problem, too, where Sonic was just kind of floaty, so. But I guess it's just a question of getting used to the physics of it. Alright, we got it. The good news is that once I get my big balloon payment paycheck, I will be able to buy a new PlayStation 4. GameStop still doesn't have any PS4s. I was in GameStop like last weekend, and I was like, "Do you guys have any PS4s yet?" And he's like, "No, but we've got some controllers now." It's like, well, that's a step. It's a step in the right direction. I never like really understood people who shit on GameStop. Like, I mean, I used to actually watch YouTube videos of jilted GameStop employees because I found their accounts of life in GameStop interesting. And, you know, working in the service industry for, you know, people in corporate positions who don't always make the right choices is, you know, or are corrupt is, you know, it's worth paying attention to, right? You know, but, you know, as an actual institution, I mean, I like GameStop. I like having a video game store that is devoted to video games. And there are these, like, hack pseudo-journalists, like Pat the NES Punk and Ian, that are just salivating at the concept of GameStop going out of business. And that is not good. I don't want that to happen, you know? Like, just because you think you're being cool because you're going with the flow of like the future of business or something like that, and that somehow gives you more credibility as a reporter because you're just I don't know, just you're like a kind of a dutiful lieutenant of a capitalist system that's staying ahead of, you know, that's trying not to live in the past and, you know, progress and not get quote unquote behind the curve. It's just stupid, man. Like, I like going to GameStop. I like chatting with the employees. I like buying games. I like taking Santino in there so we can see stuff. I like buying statues and t-shirts and stuff like that. It's fun, man. Like, why would anyone want that to go away? Because, like, I mean, Walmart's okay, but, you know, it doesn't have... It's not, like, it doesn't have all the stuff that GameStop has, you know? And GameStop was smart to have, like, collectibles and stuff, too. And they had a really nice Ryuk statue from Death Note. If I want to be really stupid and torture myself, they got a $70 Super Saiyan 4 Goku statue. But I actually had a guy, he's custom making me a 32X riser for my Sega CDX. He specializes in doing that, so I can hook my 32X into my CDX. So if I ever wanted to get a game like Night Trap or something like that, I can actually utilize the 32X and the Sega CD at the same time. Alright, there's that. I remember feeling fairly negative toward GameStop myself. I don't really remember why, since it's been so long since I've been to one. That's funny. Well, okay, so I remember when Cortland first got a GameStop, and my friend went in there, and the guy was like really like they're just obsessed with like selling stuff, because corporate tells you, hey, you got to sell stuff, you got to meet your commission or whatever, and so at the time my friend had everything but an Xbox, so the guy's like, hey, what can I help you with? And my friend's like, I'm just looking around. And the guy's like, well, what do you have? And he's like, I've got everything but Xbox. And the guy's like, well, we've got Xbox. It's like, just give me some space, man, please. So like that kind of thing is like kind of silly, but I mean, like they try to sell you like video game insurance and things like that you don't need, and or they try to sell you like magazines and things, but I don't know. I'm just always that. You see, this is the shit of this game is like like these stupid traps, and then your reaction time is like sluggish and you can't get out of the way. And it's not my reaction time; it's Mario's reaction time. Like I'm hitting the button and he's slow to move. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know, but I like GameStop. I don't want. It reminds me of like all these like smart mark internet wrestling fans, like we're all like they all hated TNA and were like just wanted him destroyed, and then like once Spike TV like basically kicked TNA off the network, then all of a sudden they got all upset. It's like, what do you think? It's like you can't just like savagely attack something and keep screaming how you want it to die, and then like get all upset when it goes away just because you're using that thing as like just something to rage against because you've got some internal issues, It's like another thing about like Pat the NES Punk that I don't like is how he just like he is constantly like rooting against startup consoles. Like, I mean, I get the Coleco Chameleon because that was a criminal enterprise, basically. That guy was like, scamming people badly, and I even get like, the shady aspects of the Atari VCS. But I never wanted the Atari VCS. I mean, I wanted the Atari VCS to come out and be good. I just thought that there was things that the Atari VCS was doing that were comedically insane. Like being a public relations company making a console, like saying you're going to make a console, asking your funding for making a console, and then having no idea how the hell you're going to actually do it. Like that was kind of crazy. But I wanted it to be cool, and it looks like it's pretty good. I mean, it's a very overpriced, PC TV with Atari branding, but no one. I mean, like Pat the NES Punk isn't like shitting on Apple or Beats for doing the exact same thing, just like throwing your brand on a subpar electronics product. The difference is like those are like corporate products with so-called credibility that have earned the ability to scam people, whereas Atari, it's like, who do you think you are? Like, I mean, Beats headphones, I mean, the markup on those is like just completely obscene. I mean, those things are like the equivalent of like at best $40 headphones that are, I mean, they're very comfortable and they look fantastic, but like the build quality of them is just such garbage. So I don't know. And like and from everything that I see, like Apple phones are the same way. Like, like every time I go to buy a new cell phone, I think to myself, like, I want to get an iPhone. They look really cool, and everyone likes who has them seems to like them. And then I compare prices, and then I always see people with iPhones having like broken screens and things like that, and it's just like, no, like I'm not going to get this. And I mean, and we're talking like an extra like, we're not talking an extra $50. We're talking about an extra like $250 for an iPhone, and there's like absolutely no reason why it should be more. You know, it's just the idea is like, you know, the Atari VCS. It's the same way. It's people. It's just people paying money for a name for a, you know, for a product that I don't know. They want to have because of the name recognition. Oh yeah, this. All right, let's do it. The cost of smartphones these days has been getting pretty damn high. Yes, it is. It's like super small Mario. It's giving me some concern here. But really easy to get to the top of that flagpole. You know, I'm curious as to how long that this smartphone's gonna last. So I'm just apparently stuck this small. I wonder if I can use this to my advantage and just like speed run like the level here. Nah, I guess not. Buff Bagwell's on right now. I guess he just got arrested. So that's not good. Run, Mario, run. Run late to win. Now, if I wanted to, I can just basically watch Luigi beat these levels for me. But I like the way that Mario 3D World did it better, whereas like if you got stuck, they would give you like an invincibility suit. But like there was still some danger, but it was like you kind of like played the game with a little bit of a safety net, as opposed to like here's just Luigi playing the game for you, you know. I'm gonna try to time something here. All right, there we go. Whee! Whee! Go, Mario, go. Ha! Got it. Good work, Mario. I'm going to quick save. Returning to the main menu. Okay, good deal. You can play with a Mii. That's actually kind of cool. Alright, well, that's good stuff. That's enough Switch for right now. Should we switch to our Xbox? Yeah, why not? Alright. Well, because Santino was playing this with me while Impact was on, I have Twitch on my Xbox. I hooked the Xbox up to our Future Power CRT monitor. And I gotta tell you, that monitor can handle HDMI. It's actually really impressive. And this is a monitor that's got to be from it's got to be from the 90s, but it looks really nice. So let's play some Xbox on a white CRT monitor from the 90s or early 2000s. I'm not quite sure, but it's one or the other. Got Jeff Jarrett versus Buff Bagwell here. This is some late WCW action right here. So we got some wrestling chicks here and Buff Bagwell. So that's cool. Yeah, good stuff. Wearing my Kenny Omega shirt. So I gotta get a new Kenny Omega shirt, but I definitely enjoy this one too. This is some good stuff. I don't know. I don't I don't know. I had a Kenny Omega Bullet Club hoodie, but it got kind of faded in the wash, so I got to get a better one. Not even faded. That's not even the right word. It got kind of it started to peel, so it got kind of flaky. So so there's that. All right, check out this picture. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, good freaking stuff, man. All right. Now we got an RPG. We were playing this game, Ragnagard. We could play a Street Fighter game. I want to try to play this one here. We're playing this on the stream before, and this is a game that will look nice because it's got pre-rendered 3D graphics. But at the same time, it's it's on a monitor that was designed to present those graphics, as opposed to being on a CRT monitor that's gonna expose all the pixelization. And I like pixelization, don't get me wrong, but you can tell there's certain games that were made to be played on certain types of screens, and this, quite frankly, is one of them. Ah, Neo Geo. It's the Saris System Vision. I'm cranking this thing all the way down. Ooh. Blood display on. Language English. Audio settings. Okay, so you turned it to level 1. That should... Display settings. I don't think that does anything. Frame of the display on. Wallpaper on. Wide display, wider screen on. Off? On? Oh, let's turn that on. Screen filter. Off. Return. Return to game. sitting in this part of the room, I can now better watch this 2002 wrestling pay-per-view. Or was this 2003? Anyway, this takes me back. I mean, I graduated high school in 2002, so... I was definitely about this life. I was telling this one teacher, I've got to get a sweater vest that I can wear with a white t-shirt. Yeah, I had that camera angled better before, but it's pretty. I mean, it's kind of at an angle, but selfie stick always drives me nuts. All right, I think that's good. Let's move it in a little bit here. My student was telling me about this. Is like talking to me about like readjusting the camera. He's like, "You got this, Mr. Passer. You can do it." All right, let's do this here. I'm gonna be her. She just looks cool. This is ridiculous music here. And again, this is on the Neo Geo. like really nice 3D pre-rendered graphics. Although I guess if the Super Nintendo can do them, the Neo Geo can too, so. Actually, this girl looks good, but I don't know if I like her controls that much, so. She's got a translucent dolphin that she fights with, which is cool. Actually, I feel kind of bad. Since Arrow is the main person here, I should probably be playing some visual novels. Ah! If I lose with her, I'm switching characters. Because I'm not very... Ah, there we go. Maybe she's a kick. Should focus on kicks with her. You know, I play whatever you want. It's your channel. Yeah, I mean, yes, but I also, I'm sensitive to the needs of my audience, you know. So. That time travel one we were playing was pretty good. I am curious to see how Sakura Succubus turns out, though. And I've tried to play that over break. Alright, let's try this here with Goku. Some of these fighting games on Neo Geo are very interesting. That are like, the ones that are like not SNK made, they're like really interesting, but they're kind of a mixed bag sometimes. Like, they're good, but there are definitely things that could be working better with them. Like, this game looks great and has amazing character design. But it's difficult, and it doesn't have as fluid a feel as, like, a Street Fighter or a King of Fighters, you know? Either that, a lot of the ones I personally enjoyed are the stuff that aren't going to be ported since they're older titles. Either that or they were fan translated since there's no official in English. I don't know how many of the ones on the Switch are softcore porn. I mean, let's be fair though. Like, pretty much everything on Netflix is softcore porn. You know? I mean, I'm serious. Like, I mean, at least this stuff is well drawn, you know? Ha! I win. You have to consider playing some of them on PC, and I don't know how convenient that would be for you. Yeah, I was actually talking the other day saying that I should get some kind of a PC for the game room. Whether it's a laptop or a PC, something that I can just hook up to the TV and then play the video games off the PC on the TV. So, you know, I can just hook it up to the 40, 5-inch, TV, and then, just have fun. Because, like, I really want to play Mugen, because Santino really wants to, play some Mugen stuff. Especially, there's, like, a really good Street Fighter 1 on Mugen, where they basically have all the Street Fighter 1 characters, but with basically Street Fighter 2 gameplay mechanics. So, it's good stuff. Man, this game is not good. It's really pretty to look at, though. I mean, it's not that it's not good. It's I'm not good at it. And it might be I'm not good at it because I'm not good. I don't know. Let's just go with the main character here. I think the concept of softcore pornography is generally pretty loosely defined these days. All music videos are now softcore pornography. Pretty much. So, it's actually really funny. So, the big thing now making the rounds on YouTube of the kind of nerd culture commentary channels is, like, the Powerpuff Girls CW show. Like, the script leaked, and it's apparently, like, just completely insane fan fiction. Just, like, they're just sexually amorphous and hyper-promiscuous, like... I mean, I don't know, man. It's pretty, and it's all this like woke stuff where men are evil, and I don't know. It's just it's a thing, man. Like, it's funny watching videos about it. I never really watched Powerpuff Girls, so I'm not like personally offended, but it's just kind of absurd what's going on. So. Because these hack writers, they think that they have these like weird formulas where it's just like if you have a certain kind of politics, like that's good for your show, or it's like a shorthand for quality, or they think they'll reach like hit a wider audience, or or draw eyeballs to their product, or I don't know. I mean, whatever kind of reasons they have for making this stuff that's not of good quality, and they barely have their reasons, or they hate Donald Trump, or there's like I don't know, but or all of the above. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just, like, being in a rural area, maybe I'm just, like, out of the mentality of people living in cities who are writing this shit, you know, like, mass media as a whole is pretty damn sexualized. There's a hell of a lot you can get away with that I imagine you couldn't years ago. You got that right, my friend. No, seriously, like, this is a good game, but I'm not going to bore you guys with me struggling with it right now. Stevie Ray's on TV right now. Stevie Ray's cool. I had just heard that Virtua Fighter 5 is getting a release on the PS4, so why don't we play that on our Xbox One right now? Which is actually being played via the Xbox 360. Now, I would happily buy Virtua Fighter 4 on the PS4, but my PS4 doesn't work. So, there you go. I guess I can't say anything because I've watched anime all my life. So, like, put it this way, man. It's like, okay, I'll tell you exactly what happened, okay? Shows like The Sopranos on HBO got popular, and once networks started to copy that, it was kind of all downhill for accessible TV programming. Because, you know, like, okay, so, yeah, I mean, there could be TV shows that were, you know, had a lot of sex and violence in them or whatever, and they were well written and people liked them, you know, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But then it got to be like that turned into the norm, and then everything just went to shit. Because, you know, it's like there's no point to it, you know? Like, I mean, okay, like Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse, like, that's a cool movie. It combines elements of male fantasy. It combines elements of male fantasy with, like, certain movie tropes and things like that. And, like, that's cool. But it's to the point now where it's like, you're not a human being if you're not, like, you know, just, like, incredibly, like, violent and hypersexual, you know? It's like, that's become the shorthand for authenticity. And authenticity, I don't think, is a particularly good concept. You know, because, like, you can be an authentically terrible person or an authentically good person. The thing that shouldn't, at the center of things, shouldn't be authenticity. I mean, if we're talking art, it should be self-expression. And if we're talking about constructing art for mass consumption, it should be kind of a combination of self-expression with, I mean, I would say Judeo-Christian morals where people can, you know, treat other people the way that they'd want to be treated and have humility before a higher power. I'm gonna shut the lights off so this pops a little more on the screen. Hang on a second, man.
You'll never be a match for me.
Like, I'm not saying, like, everything has to be the Waltons, you know? I'm just saying that, like, you know, it used to be, you could, like, primetime television was, like, chill and fun and had something for everyone, and I think it's trying to get back to that now, but I don't know, we might be in the too little too late territory right here. Plus with, you know, like, Pluto TV, I can just watch, like, good shit, you know, for free, you know? I can just watch, like, Renegade and Family Ties, you know? And, you know, Renegade is like, it's a show I like. It was like a syndicated show, and, you know, it's got some like, kind of sexier stuff in it, but, like, it's like that's the high spot of the wrestling match. Yeah, like in pro wrestling, you know how they complain right now, like, everything is a high spot, whereas before it would be like, you know, like, there would be one or two spectacular moves a match, and it would be like, those would be kind of like the climax, or like the kind of the garnish of, like, something that had, like, really good stable psychology. Whereas now, you know, it's just like you're just overwhelmed with backflips and nothing means anything anymore, you know? And I think that's a good reflection for mass culture, because pro wrestling reflects mass culture. Better run home to mama now. Ah, no, 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 no. So I heard Sega is coming out with a Sonic Colors remake and a Virtua Fighter for, a remake isn't the right word. A new addition, a tweaking, I guess, of Virtua Fighter 4 and Sonic Colors, so. Yeah, okay, so you know what would be a good example of, like, racy, violent stuff that's of good quality? 80s anime, you know? But, like, it's not trying to make a... It's not doing it to be political. It's doing it because, like, that's what the people who made the animes thought was cool, you know? Like, I don't know. It's like the stuff now just feels kind of manipulative and forced.
You'll never be a match for me.
They got a new game coming next year too. I really would like them to do like a Sonic Mania 2. That new game that they're doing, I really, really would like it to have like really good 2D mechanics. I do not like 2D games that zoom out the camera screen and like you're just this little dot on the screen. It's like, but you can see what's coming at you. It's like, I don't care. It's like I look like a dot. I don't want to have to freaking squint to see my character. Stuff is done in high definition now. Like, so I don't know, but yeah, hopefully it'll be good. I'm excited. I bought Sonic Forces actually a couple weeks ago and I haven't played it yet. People say that game's not good. Sonic, because it came out, I mean, like, Sonic Mania is just a really good game, though, so, I'd like to see Sonic Forces as well, to see the kind of, like, the companion piece to Sonic Mania. Or maybe Sonic Mania is supposed to be the companion piece to Sonic Forces, I don't know, but, freaking DeRawl. Got her! We get the cool ending credits. Are you serious? They're gonna remaster 1, 2, 3 in CD?
Try again in a few years.
I love this song. This is, this, should be on the Switch. Nice, widescreen, cool. I really hope they have the Japanese vocal music for Sonic CD. And they're having 3, too. That's a good thing, man. 3 was, kind of getting to be kind of a rare game. Hopefully they are able to use the Michael Jackson music and not like the... People are gonna be pissed if they end up using the like PC music. That's just kind of weird. Hey Arrow man, what's the time, man? How long have I been streaming? You know what? I actually downloaded Speaking of pixel games, I actually downloaded an anime pixel game. I'm pretty sure it'll be similar to the 360 versions. 137? I gotta go to bed. We'll have to save that. No, actually, you know what? Let's not play Street Fighter right now, because we always play Street Fighter. Alright, well, the last game for tonight. 137, that's crazy. Where is that game? I gotta play Stranger of Sword City. There it is, right here. Taimuari? Is that what it's called? Brought to us by Victory Road. The TNA pay-per-view. Do. Sprite outline on. This game looks pretty interesting here. Easy. Somewhere up high beyond the clouds, another world lays hidden, accessible to the chosen ones. This is known as Zarya, and it exists simultaneously with ours. Its residents are guardians of time and space. Many years ago, a divine force granted the power to control time to all of Zarya's dwellers, mortal as they were. However, they had to confine their souls in a magic crystal of time, which could hold space-time together for many centuries. Their descendants must guard the crystals in order for balance to prevail in the world. However, of course, the time has once disrupted. A group of young guardians, sorcerers from Zarya, decided to destroy the crystal and take the ability to control time and space for themselves. Once the crystal of time was destroyed, terrible cataclysms befell the world, which had regularly the rhythm and flow of time simply vanished. Council of Zarya assembled by the Elder to take action immediately. The Elder claimed he was able to locate the thieves, each of them hiding in a different epoch of Earth's being. Kanashimi, the head guardian, said it had been foretold in ancient manuscripts. According to them, the only person who can save the entire world is a young sorceress by the name of Himari. Now the Elder is preparing Himari for time travel so she can stop the villains, claim their powers for herself, and restore the balance of time on Earth. Okay. Here we go. So this looks like a Famicom game here. We're basically talking like Famicom game with high-def 80s graphic, high-def anime, graphics. Like it's like an RPG or a shmup. This is kind of like tutorial time here. This game was highly rated, so... I mean, I bought it just because I liked how it looked, but once I saw the high rating on it, I was interested. Can I jump on things? Oh, I see. Can I... So I guess do I just avoid these things? I like the music in this game. It's very... The physics in it are very nice. like nice. I like the art. I like the artwork and the 8-bit graphics. They go well together. It's like a very nice synthesis of the old and new. Oh, I see. This makes me hit things. That's nice. They got like a slash mechanic here. This is good. This is some good stuff. I like this a lot better than Mario U Deluxe. Yeah, this is a relaxing, fun, pretty game. Press RB to attack with your magic. There we go. There we go. And charge a spell too. This is some good freaking stuff, man. I'm impressed right here. This is like a good Famicom game with like modern anime like character designs. Boss time. Where's this guy's health? Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's at the bottom of the screen. I can see it. You know what I was having my students play today? Oregon Trail. And they were having fun with it. Got him. Haha, there's no stopping us. Ah, so these plubuses are here for a reason. Of course, Zarya must be the first one to vanish from the world. From all worlds, I'll make sure no one will ever remember Zarya. How is that possible? Powers granted to us by the crystal make everything possible. It must be sad to realize you'll forget yourself and cease to exist soon. We'll see about that. Alright, that was good stuff. Alright. Hey, Disco Inferno just beat up a banana in pajamas right here. So that's good. It's 1:46. So that is pretty late at night right here. Oh no, looks like B2 is B1 or B2 is has been felled by Glenn Gilberti, the Disco Inferno. So can't win them all. All right, man, or whoever else is watching. If it's just Arrow, cool. If it's other people and Arrow, cool. But regardless of who's on or who will be on, it's time for me to sign off for the night. Thank you all for watching. Had fun. I still gotta get better at that Neo Geo pre-rendered game, and keep chipping away at Mario Brothers U Deluxe, because it's pretty good. But definitely, I don't know. I've played more accessible and enjoyable Mario's, and that last game we were playing on the 360 is some good stuff. Yes, I will rest well. You too, man. Till next time. My name is Noel. You take care, and be sure to tune in to the channel for all kinds of live streaming and other cool types of fun. Thank you, Diego. Always a pleasure to have you on the stream and have you as a friend. So yeah, tune in for more anime and manga fan art, web logs, video game reviews, and live streams, and just other random things that I feel like uploading. Okay, gang, I will see you all in the very near future. Bye bye.